Quadrupling your LinkedIn impressions in 90 days is completely possible with the right system. I know this because after people have been using our Say What playbook, the median user posting 5 times a week sees a 130% increase in their impressions in 90 days. And the average user sees an 800% increase. So who am I? I'm McTighe, and I grew from 3,000 to more than 400,000 followers the last 20 months, making me one of the fastest growing new creators on LinkedIn. And I built Say What specifically to help other creators get these same results. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact 5-step system that's helped hundreds of creators multiply their LinkedIn reach and turn their impressions into actual business results. So before getting into that, let me explain why most LinkedIn content gets ignored. Most people spend hours writing posts that get 5 likes and no leads. And the reason is that they write boring content. They have the wrong expectations of people on social media. They think content creation is like chatting to people at dinner, when people have opted in to sitting and listening to you. In reality, it's like busking. When was the last time you stopped for someone who was busking on the street? They had to say something incredibly interesting for you to actually pay attention. And what people do is they tell irrelevant stories that are not useful for their audience, like what they did last weekend. What you really want to do is you want to focus your content on things that will help your target audience. To stop guessing and start using proven content strategies. That means adapting content that has already worked to your niche and writing hooks and content that stops the scroll and gets people to read. And it's because Say What users understand this, that's why they get such good results, because they understand how to create effective content and they pick topics that are interesting to readers. So really it's a combination of using AI that's trained on great LinkedIn content to help get you started, using good quality ideas and using the community to get feedback and to help you improve, because it's not just consistency, it's also intentional change too. In Say What in particular, you have an AI that learned your specific voice and not a generic chat GPT robot. Take an example of Hayden, who's got great results. But before he started using Say What about 7 months ago, he was getting inconsistent leads. And now he signed more than 150K in business from LinkedIn and is getting more than 400K views a week and has added more than 20,000 followers. So if you'd like to see exactly how this works, you can try Say What for free right now. Just click the first link in the description to get started. Now onto my 5-step systems. If you only did this one thing, you'd likely double your impressions. And that's using proven post formats. So you want to find outlier posts in your niche and in other niches. That could be topics that perform really well, or it could be visual styles, and then apply them to your niche. So here's an example that does well time and time again. It is the perception versus reality format. So one user, Kobe, used this really well in marketing. And another one of my newsletter readers, Kevin, applied this to enterprise IT architecture. Very different industries, but applying the same principles of human nature, which in this case is that people feel undervalued at work. And we share more ideas like this in the community based on what's trending and what we see getting results. Now on to step 2, write better content using an AI that understands LinkedIn. Most people write boring content. Like I said earlier, they think content creation is like chatting to people at dinner. It is not. It is like busking. And what that means is the expectations are just way higher. Your LinkedIn posts have 2 jobs. They have to capture and retain attention. And let's talk through each of those one by one. So first of all, you want to use some AI that is trained on top performing LinkedIn content. Maybe it's your own, maybe it's custom GPT, or it's Say What. To capture attention, what I do after I've written every post is I always ask for 5 pattern interrupting hooks. And this is really important because you want to pick out what you think will work best. And really, I just look at what makes me feel something, because if it makes you feel something, it'll likely make other people feel something too. Now let's talk about how to retain attention. There are a few things you can do here. So the first thing is naturally adding line spacing so you make it easier for people to read. This means that it won't feel like too much work for them. The second thing that you can do is you can add rhythm. That's a mix of punchy short statements with some slightly longer explanations to make the flow feel dynamic and not boring and monotonous. And the third thing you can do is deliver a clear payoff. End each story with a concrete takeaway that someone can use. Remember, this is not just food for thought. Your content needs to help your reader or leave them with some lesson or learning. You want them to feel that was worth my time after they've read your content. And Say What's writing agent does that for you automatically to get you started. Okay, step number 3 is accountability and feedback. Everyone talks about being consistent, but that only works if you continually improve. When I was early on my journey on LinkedIn, I was always talking to a guy called Dr. Miro Bader every day about our LinkedIn content. We're reviewing what works, we're identifying our own outliers, and then we were talking about it to try and help each other improve. I wanted to help other people do that, so I created the Roast My Post channel in the Say What community, where you can get feedback on your content before posting. This way you can get experts like me to give feedback so you can learn from us and avoid the mistakes that we made. Okay, step number 4. Find and support other creators in your niche. At first on LinkedIn, you need to bootstrap initial engagement. How do you do that? You support other people. It's just like networking. You help people before you ever ask for anything in return. I think about it like startups. Often their first customers are people they know because they're people that are more invested in their journey. It's the same on LinkedIn. Get on Zoom calls, get to know people, build a community that actually supports each other. And what that means is you just pay attention and try and comment on their posts each day. If you see their content in your feed, make sure you support it because it helps them a little bit. And what I found was that finding these people can be really annoying. Finding people who are talking about similar topics, who are also on the same journey, is hard. So we created the community to make that easier because there's already 600 people there who are on this journey. We've also made it easier because in Say What there's a commenting feed, which just means it's less distracting to comment on people's posts. And frankly, this saves a ton of time. Now, the most important step that I see people miss, which is create content that converts leads too. So I often have a conversation with creators where they're like, I'm not getting any leads from LinkedIn. And they'll look through that feed, and in the last month, I haven't seen a single case study. Remember, what is it that makes you actually choose to buy from people? Typically, it's proof. And so what I really recommend is people doing transformation case study posts. That means we're showing before and after transformations that you've helped clients get. And what that does, it helps attract more leads and more customers. Remember, the content that helps grow your followers is not the content that helps you drive leads, but you need both of these together because you need to bring more people into your universe with your top of funnel content and then convert them as you build trust and show proof that you could help them get the results that they need. I also have another video on the 3 different types of content that drive leads that you can take a look at too. Creators who consistently grow on LinkedIn aren't special. They just follow a system that works. Most people on LinkedIn are just guessing. They post randomly, they cross their fingers and hope something works. But the people who win follow a proven system. That's why the median Say What user doubles their impression in 90 days and the average sees 8x growth. I went from 3,000 to more than 400,000 followers in 20 months using the exact same playbook, and you can too. Start applying these 5 principles using proven content formats, using AI writing trained on LinkedIn, but with your personal experience, getting feedback on your content, building a community, and writing content that converts. These small changes can lead to huge results. So if you're ready to stop guessing and start growing, click the first link in the description to join more than 600 creators inside Say What. You can try it free today and see the results for yourself. I'll see you in the next video.